Hello, assalamu alaikum, good evening.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome to the Shakur's getting ready for Ramadan, quick little interlude episode. So Ramadan, inshallah, is going to be in what, 3 or 4 days? What's today, Saturday? We're going to be looking for the moon on Monday. Looking for the moon on Monday, which means Ramadan might be Tuesday. And then if it's not Tuesday, it'll definitely be Wednesday. And so since we're getting so close, I'm sorry, we need to introduce ourselves. My bad. Who are you? Who do I have with me today?
I am Sarah, a S of Jazz.
You're S of Jazz. So I am Ndola, and this is Sarah. She is the youngest of the Shakurs, the baby Shakur. And so she wanted to sit with me while we went over this information for you. So Ramadan is going to be Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, inshallah. And so we put together an ebook. It's a free ebook, so you don't have to worry about, cost or anything. But last year when we did our Ramadan series, we were every day or every other day posting flyers and recipes and all this stuff. And so to have to avoid people having to try to keep up with that, we went on and made an ebook for you. And so before we share the ebook, each of the Shakur young ladies would like to hop on to tell you about their part of what they're going to be doing for Ramadan. So even though Sarah is sitting with me, she's not going to go first. First, we're gonna welcome our very first guest to the stage, Jalila J of Jazz.
Salam.
Go ahead.
Okay. Salam.
Walaikum salam, Jalila. How you doing, girly girl?
Good.
Awesome. So what are you going to be doing with us during Ramadan?
I am going to be doing Chop It Up with Jolly. It's a company that is it a company? I feel like it's a company. Yeah, it's a company that I made with my mom. She helped me design the logo, but I kind of said it, and then she drew it out for me, and then my uncle touched it up.
He digitized it for you. I thought it would show. It's not really showing up. We're going to have to upload it differently, but we'll share it. Your logo is in the ebook for the Chop It Up with Jolly pages. So what is Chop It Up with Jolly? What are people going to be doing when they hop on every Tuesday to Chop It Up with Jolly?
Well, in the ebook is recipes of what I'm going to be making. So I'm going to have guests on there that are going to do it with me, and then other people are going to join on and then just watch or do it with me. For example, Sarah, she may be my guest, but she'll be with me because we live together. And the other people could watch it and then do it later or with me.
Okay. And so what's the theme for this year? Are you going to be making any things in particular? Is it going to be iftars? What's the setup?
For the next month and a half, iftar and suhoor because of Ramadan.
Right. Okay. So that's all the questions I have. You have any questions?
No.
No?
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Jalila, for joining us and letting us know about Chop It Up with Jolly. And we will see you Tuesday.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. Bye.
Walaikum salam. All right. So that was Jalila, Chop It Up with Jolly. Sarah, would you like to share with us your Ramadan endeavor?
Yes. Story time with Sasa is when I'm going to read stories, and I'm going to read stories every Sunday.
Okay. What kind of stories are we going to be reading?
I'm going to be reading.
They were stories about Allah, I believe.
Yes. There were stories about Allah, and there was, I think, Aladdin.
Well, no, we're not going to. So for Ramadan, we're going to stick with this very specific book series that was written by Khalil Ishmael and I believe Zakia. And so for Ramadan, for those 4 weeks, we're going to only read those stories. After that, then you're going to get into other stories that you can choose.
Okay.
So Storytime with Sasa is going to be every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to share with us about Storytime with Sasa?
Nope.
Nope, that's it. All right. Well, thank you, my dear, for joining me. You going to stick around or you going to go do something else?
I'll stick around.
Okay. All right. So the next young lady is ready. Ready to come to the stage?
Sure.
All right. All right. You are on mute, my love.
Silent.
Walaikum salam. Your face is a little cut off. So I don't know if you can.
That better?
All right. So what are you going to be doing? Tilt your camera up just a bit. Your camera. Yeah. What are you going to be doing during our Ramadan series?
I'm going to be doing sketches, which is me drawing either with my mom or just me. And I'm going to be drawing a series of things. I think the first thing is create your own anime character. We're going to do a prophetic scene and, just like different stuff. So, yeah, it's going to be me drawing and showing off just a little bit, but yeah.
So you're going to be doing stuff for the artists out there. Any particular tools people might need to join you?
No, I'm going to be using like different pencils and like charcoal pencils and stuff, but really anybody who would like to join would just need a pencil and paper.
Sounds good. You have any questions? No? You have anything you want to make sure you share or that people are aware of?
I don't think so, no.
No? All right. Well, thank you, Aziza. Didn't introduce yourself. I forgot to ask. We're going to get better at this with the people that we're familiar with. But thank you, Aziza, for hopping on and telling us about sketches. And you a good day, young lady.
Okay, so
Walaikum salam. Okay, so for Ramadan, we are going to have a repetitive format where every Monday we have something happening on Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the plan is that we'll be joining you all every single day during Ramadan at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Ramadan ebook is the ebook, again, that I created to correspond with all of these events, and it has pretty much everything that you need. And so you do have to download it. And so now I'm going to do a screen share so that you can see the process of getting to it. And are we ready for that? All right. So let me add the Ramadan ebook to the stream. Uh-oh. What did I do? Okay, I don't know what I did. We're on. Okay.
There we go.
All right, there it is. Okay, so you would just open up your browser. You would go to payhip.com. It's payhip.com/indigo. That is N as in Nancy, D as in David, IGO. When you go to PayHip, you'll see this lovely page come up. If you scroll down just a little bit, there are 2 ebooks here. The one that we are going to be using now is this one with the green at the top. The one at the bottom is the one from Black History Month, which of course you are more than welcome to go and check out. But the one that we're going to be focused on is that first one, the My Ramadan Ebook. So you would click onto that. When you click it, it will allow you to just kind of see some of the pages that we have posted. So you can click through. If you click on this right arrow here, you see the cover, and then there is the month calendar that we have posted there. If you click again, we have one of the pages from inside, sweet treats. Once a week, we're going to be making sweet treats. And we do not use processed sugar, like a regular white sugar in our home. And so all of the sweet treats are using alternative sweeteners like coconut sugar, maple syrup, maple sugar, things like that. So this here is just kind of a page telling you kind of what to expect with the sweet treat, some of the special equipment or tools that you might need, and just giving you a rundown, some helpful tips, a few things to note, things like that. If you click that arrow, that right arrow, Another example of something inside a match the word page. We have some words, transliterated words in Arabic in your left column. You have the English translation in your right. It's just a fun little activity for the young and young at heart to, see if they know the definitions to these words that we have listed. If you have more than one person in your home and you print this out, there's a space for name and date at the bottom. I did put that on many of the many of the active pages, just thinking about my own little ones and everybody wanting to know, which one is theirs. So if you're going to click that right arrow again, this is an example of one of the Iftar pages. So each week on Tuesdays, we'll be doing Iftar, and it is our intention to invite some people to actually join us on the broadcast to share in that Iftar experience. But every single week, it starts with a menu, and at the very top, you will have breakfast and what we'll be doing for breakfast. So this first week, the first Iftar menu, the breakfast, which is what we would literally break fast with before Salat, would be a charcuterie board. And so this is the Chop It Up with Jolly stuff. You can see her little logo at the bottom of this page here. And so for the breakfast, we'll be making the charcuterie board using dates, cream cheese, different fruits, cheeses, cornichon, oranges, things like that. These are all things that she likes. Of course, feel free to get things that you like for your own board, but just to go through the layout, this is what we'll have. After that board is made, we'll go into the main course. Every single week, there'll be a different kind of entree for the main course. So for the first week, we're going to be doing Thai curry chicken and rice. And so there's a quick description of that, a coconut curry chicken with broccoli, string beans, sweet peppers, corn, and onions, and then jasmine rice. Again, if there's something on there that you don't eat, that you don't like, that you're allergic to, omit that, substitute it out. I believe in each one where we have meat listed, there are suggestions for non-meat or plant-based alternatives in the actual recipe. We always will have beverages. It's going to be hot tea and water. We have dessert listed. For this first week, we have smoothies. We have our fruits listed. And then that disclaimer that I've mentioned a few times already. Adjust the menu as you need to accommodate for preferences, allergies, so forth and so on. And so behind this page in the ebook each week, there will be the menu, the recipe for each thing. So you'll have a recipe to take you through the charcuterie board, a recipe for that Thai curry chicken, a recipe for your smoothies, so forth and so on. So we can click that right arrow for the next one. Every week we're going to do science. So our science day is Fridays, and this is our info page for the science, a few things to note and helpful tips as we saw for the sweet treats. Each week we'll conduct an experiment. Some of them will require adult assistance or big kid assistance. Most of them will require items that you should just have around the house. I tried to make sure they were inexpensive and very easy for small families and large families to be able to do. One of the more important helpful tips for the science as well as the food-based ones, make sure you read through the stuff ahead of time to have all of the supplies and ingredients and things that you need. There are instructions for each science experiment, as well as a page. We're going to go through the scientific method for it. And so there's a page that you can print with 6 boxes that goes through your hypothesis and procedure and so forth and so on. And so always come with that page ready, whether you want to type it in or print it out and write. Have your pencil, your eraser, you'll be good to go. You click on that right arrow, see another example of something within the ebook. This is one of the coloring sheets that you have in there. Yeah, just a coloring sheet. You can print as many copies as you want, color it, share, so forth and so on. Let's click that right arrow. Do we have any other pages in here? There's another coloring sheet. The girls kind of insisted on lambs in the coloring sheets. And this is the back cover of the ebook. And so it's just kind of a quick little what it's about, what it's designed for you to join us going through Ramadan and beyond. Of course, the recipes and the activities can be done during Ramadan and not during Ramadan. And so there's journal prompts, recipes, crafts, coloring sheets, all sorts of things. And then we are at the Shakors on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. And if you would like to be notified of each thing that we do, you would need to follow and like the pages that you would like to be notified on. These lives will be going directly to YouTube and Facebook, and we're working on a way to get them going straight onto Instagram. But the Instagram video thing is a little bit more interesting. Did I miss something, Sasa?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I did want to share the calendar. Did we pull that calendar up?
I think so.
The week calendar. Did I give you that? Is there a way to make that larger? Or maybe click on the preview. I wanted to go through that just a little bit more detailed.
There we go.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it would do it like this. It's sideways.
Oh.
All right. So I know this isn't an ideal picture of it, but wait a minute. Let me see if I can just pull it up on my computer. Because I did pull it up on my computer and then we went another route. So at any rate, while we are pulling up this calendar is at the very beginning and it has the whole month laid out. And I know that it could be a little bit confusing. So I wanted to explain that the Ramadan days are on here as well as April going into May. So if you get a little bit closer, that 12, 13, 14, 15, those are the April dates, right? And so so that chop it up with Jolly on the 13th, that's if the moon is sighted on the 12th, then we will be going into chop it up with Jolly on the 13th. She actually has requested that we do it anyway to start things off, since if Ramadan does not begin the night of the 12th, it will begin the night of the 13th. And although it won't be a fasting day, we might very well possibly go on and do that on that day anyway. And then as you go through, you can see the next day is sketches, create an anime character. So Aziza, like many other young people her age, is very into anime. And so and she's a pretty good artist. And so I've encouraged her to come up with a way to kind of Islamicize the characters that she draws. And so instead of having them very well endowed and not very well dressed, she's going to be going through a way of kind of sticking somewhat true to the art, but making the characters cover, make it fit more in line with, the way that we should do things. The next day we have our journal day. And so it is a written reflection. So we're going to start off with gratitude. The next day is science. And so our very first science day, we're going to be planting seeds. Just felt fitting to start off with planting something the time of year that it is. And then it's Ramadan, having things grow. The next day after that is our craft day. And we're going to start off making paper lanterns. I know that Ramadan decorating has become a very big thing these days. And so we don't quite have our decorations up, but we're going to be making some of these little paper lanterns to go with what we have planned. And so that day we will share the decorations that we have and then add the lanterns that we make to that. The next day we have story time with Sasa, where Sarah will be reading a story. This book series has been shared with us by Khalil Ishmael, Teach Me About Islam. And hopefully we'll be able to link that to our page so that you guys will have access to it. But she'll be reading that every week. There are 4 books in the series, and so we'll go through each one. The next day on Mondays, we are doing sweet treats. The very first one is blueberry muffins. And again, we will not be using white sugar in our recipes. But if you want to, of course, feel free to do it however you would like. But the recipe will call for things like coconut sugar, muscovado sugar, maple syrup, things like that. So just a heads up, when you see those things, you won't see that and like white sugar or even raw sugar. We'll always be using those alternatives. And then it starts over again. And so every single Monday is going to be sweet treats. Tuesdays are Chop It Up with Jolly. Wednesdays are sketches. Thursdays are our journal days of reflection. Fridays is science. Saturdays are crafts. And Sundays is story time with Sasa. We have for May 12th and 13th to go sight the moon. We do believe in moon sighting instead of just going off of a calculation. And so our calendar is based off of that. So we have the 12th to sight the moon. Obviously, if it's not seen on the 12th, then we would try again on the 13th. But either way, Ramadan is starting either the 13th or the 14th. And then at the end of the month, we'll be doing the same thing, saving that potential last day instead of going live, preparing ourselves for Eid, and going to sight the moon the 12th or the 13th. Here in our city, there's a group that goes to sight the moon pretty much every month. They, reviving the Sunnah. And so, inshallah, we'll be joining them next week to go sight the moon, of course, socially distanced and masked and all that. And we go up onto a mountain, look for the moon, we make Maghrib up there. It's really a beautiful situation. And we'll be doing the same thing at the end of the month, which is always exciting to see Eid come in. Yeah. Am I missing anything? I feel like I went over all the high notes of, we said where to get the book, how to use the book. Oh yeah, I guess we should do that. Do you have it pulled up for you? Okay, so got my BTS guys telling me that I was about to skip a step. Okay, so this is our calendar. So he has pulled up the book for me. You have the whole book pulled up? I'm sorry? Okay, so what we're gonna do is actually go into the full book so that I can show you more of the pages, like the recipes. And after that month calendar, we have the week calendar. And I just wanted to make sure people can see it and it's easy to navigate. And if anybody on has any questions or comments, if you've already gotten the book and you wanted to, tell me about something to add or take away, possibly, drop a comment. If you like it, tell me why. If you don't like it, tell me why. So the book is up. Here it is. All right. So this is our Ramadan ebook. So when you download the book, this is what will come through for you. And so that's our cover page. So then if you go on and click on the book, excuse me. Can you give me some water? Thank you. Oh, is it clicking? Oh, there it is. So this one isn't a click, it's a scroll. Okay, so you're gonna scroll down, and this is just the, that first kind of publishing page. This book is open for you to use freely. Everything that's inside, you can print, you can share it. So, feel free to share it. You can just share the link. People can go in and download it. There's not a limited amount of times to download. I believe on there is an option to pay something for the book, but it's absolutely up to you. It would be, a sadaqah if you paid something for the book. Feel free to go on and download it. So you can scroll through. And this is the dedication of the book. It's a little wordy, so I'm not going to read it right now, but please do read it and, make dua for my family and the people that have assisted me in this. Then we have our table of contents. And so this is telling you every single day. The days are numbered for the days of Ramadan. Inshallah, that's how it'll fall. Of course, again, because we're going by a sighting, we don't know for sure, but we have, could this be enlarged just a bit? We're starting out with the Chop It Up with Jolly if Ramadan is that first day. And then we're going into sketches and written reflection and so forth and so on. So we try to make sure it would correspond with the days, but there is a chance that sketches will be the first actual day of Ramadan as far as how we, when we start. So if you continue to scroll, there is the introduction. This is just a quick little description of each of the days, each of the things that we'll be doing each day. So again, feel free to read that in your own time. And if you have any questions or comments about anything, just shoot them our way. If you keep scrolling, you will come to one of the kind of little inspiration quote pages. Well, not quote, it's excerpts of Quran. It's different ayah from the Quran. And so it's not necessarily our favorite ones, but just ones that we like. And so it's a Ramadan Mubarak, it's a special time of year, this holy month. And just a little, this is one of my favorite verses. I heard someone sing something inspired by this verse, and it was really moving to me. I didn't realize it was a Quran inspired song at the time. So yeah, so you're gonna have maybe 3 or 4 of these throughout the book, but If you keep scrolling here, we get into that calendar that I just went over with you. And at the bottom of the calendar page, there are lines for any additional notes that you have. And so if you keep scrolling, we're going to get into the weeks. And so this first week is your preparation week, which is the week that we're in now. We're finishing it up. It's Saturday. But every single week, there are going to be a little notes box there. And those are notes that we have written for you in terms of what we have coming up on our schedule. For your own personal notes, you have those lines at the bottom for you to use. And so if you scroll along to the next page, to our yellow week page, in here is all of the Shakur's Ramadan stuff that we'll be doing day by day. It shows you each one. And then again, those notes is kind of notes for you of what's coming up or things that you should prepare to do if you're going to be following along with our schedule. And then again, space for you to write notes at the bottom. And if you scroll through, you have Ramadan week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. It all follows the same format. And so once you get the hang of it, it just kind of keeps going. And then we have the open space for Eid. And then that very first page is Chop It Up with Jolly, which we already went through. Each week, the Chop It Up with Jolly will have this exact same format. That breakfast, that main course, the beverages, the dessert, and that disclaimer. It's going to be on there each week. If you scroll just a bit more, this is what the menu pages look like. So for the charcuterie board, this is more of, recipe pages. This is more kind of suggestions of what you would put on the board and then what you would need. And then a picture of a board for anybody who doesn't know what this is or isn't familiar with the term. And for each one, I have a prep time and cook time, total time. These are estimates. Of course, it'll depend on your level of skill, how quickly you work, so forth and so on. But that is on each page. Our neighbors are listening to some loud music. But yeah, that's on each of the recipe pages. And so if you scroll along, there's that next recipe, that coconut curry chicken and rice, and a picture of some Thai curry chicken. If you keep scrolling, we have our smoothie recipe. Smoothie is one of the simplest things to make. And so we have the fruits, the juice, another picture, our time estimates, and Jalila's cute little logo down there in the bottom. And if you keep scrolling, then we're at the next thing, sketches. And so aside from just making sure there were placeholders, I wanted to make sure if people were to print the ebook, they would have all the pages that they need. And so we have the sketches logo down there, and also just this box for if someone wanted to print this, color or black and white wouldn't matter. Again, if you have more than one person in your family you're printing for, you can put that name on there. And then what we're doing this week is on there. So that creates your own character. All you need is paper and pencil. Print this out. You're good to go. You can draw along with Z or, doing something similar that you come up with on your own. We scroll along the journal entry. Every single week, again, will look very similar. You will have the space for a name and a date, journal entry, and then whatever topic we're working on. So for the first week, we're doing gratitude and a little quote, and then either an ayah or a part of an ayah from the Quran. And so so you have this first page, and if you scroll, you'll see there's a second page of just lines for you to write on. If you need that space. You keep scrolling along. Then we have science. So we already kind of went over this page of science. It's just kind of giving you some heads up, things to think about. And if you scroll past this page, then you have the very first science page. So science with the Shakur, starting seed. So we have a picture of a seed that has germinated. You have your supplies, you have your instructions, and then a little note about what's happening. And so every single week, it will look very similar to this. Things might be moved around on your page just a little, but this is the gist of what you're going to see. And so we'll go through these things. And if you scroll along, you'll see that second page I was referring to, where we're going to look at it using the scientific method. So we're going to state what's the problem that we're addressing. What is your hypothesis? What's the procedure that you're going to use? What were the results? Analysis, conclusion. Obviously, all of this can't be done at one time for every single experiment. So for example, this one with starting seeds, we're not going to be able to do this whole thing at once because they're going to have to observe, water their seed, look at their seed, see when it sprouts roots, when the leaves come, so forth and so on. But that's what this is for. And at the bottom of each of these pages, you'll see another verse or a partial verse from the Quran. If you scroll along further, crafts. So every week we're going to do crafts. I believe Sasa is my craft helper, right? She's so quiet down here. All right, so every week we're doing crafts. Format will be very similar. You'll have crafts with the shakors, what the craft is. So we're starting with paper lanterns. You will need is your supply list. So this is everything that you'll need to make this craft. Uh-oh, we went black there. Okay, along with the instructions. And if you scroll along, you have all the instructions that you need. And then if there's a template needed, like this first week, there is a template. If you print this out, you can just have that printed. And there's kind of a picture of what the paper lantern will somewhat look like. Of course, it won't be exactly like that, but it'll look very similar to that. And if you scroll along, story time with Sasa. So this page is for the people that participate in our story time, to encourage them to maybe draw about the story, to kind of get into some, well, for her, it would be reading comprehension because she's the one reading. But for our listeners, it would be more of paying attention to detail, being a good listener. If you can listen to a story and then tell that story, draw about that story, then that means that you have to be paying attention. And so we wanted to make that connection for our little learners, our young people, and again, our young at heart, to have an activity to go along with Storytime with Sasa. If you scroll a bit, your logo is so cute. If you scroll, you get to the sweet treats. Again, we went over this particular page that gives you the some helpful tips and some things that you will need. But then if you scroll past this, you'll see that very first recipe for our sweet treats. So the very first one, I'll grab my charger very quickly. The very first one is blueberry muffins with the streusel topping. And so, so we have this recipe. And if you scroll some more, you get back to that Ramadan Mubarak, and then you know the week is starting over again. So every single one is laid out the exact same way. I hope that it's very easy for you to follow. And again, if you have any questions about anything, I super missed the things. Nargis and Najiba. I didn't see your comments until just now. Assalamualaikum, you guys. Baby, you gotta plug it in.
Yeah.
In the outlet.
It's full.
I didn't realize my battery was low. All right, here, plug it in behind me. Come on. So each week ends with this Ramadan Mubarak sign. This is so bootleg. Each week ends with this Ramadan Mubarak, and then it starts all over again. Lord, you got it, babe? It's plugged in? Yeah. Okay, thank you, love. Each week ends here. And if you scroll along, you'll see we're starting back at that the Iftar day, the Chop It Up with Jolly. And so I'm hoping that it's easy to follow. It's not too overwhelming. Again, we'll be on every single day, available to answer questions, to make adjustments as needed. The ebook is free. Remember, it's at payhip.com/indigo, Ndigo. And as you see the scroll is going, it's very repetitive just to make it very user-friendly and easy to use. And so we have all of our science experiments, all of our craft activities, all of the story times, the sketches, the Chop It Up. We're going to be making marshmallows. We're going to be making crispy cereal treats, all kinds of really great things. Some of them do require special ingredients like the marshmallows. We did have to order some halal gelatin online, and it took a few days for it to come. So just keep that in mind. If you intend to do this with us, it's probably a good idea to look through the whole thing now and see those special things that you might need to order and or make a substitute for. But I believe that is everything. Did I miss anything, sir?
Nope.
Did we get through everything? I feel like that was pretty thorough.
Yep. That was everything.
That was everything?
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. Your little face is blocked. It's been blocked all this time.
I'm so sorry.
There it is. Okay. All right. So again, I am Ndola. This is Sarah, and we are going to be forcing ourselves to be disciplined and organized this month so that we can do our own Ramadan stuff and fellowship and prayer and reading, but still make time to join you guys every evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and on Facebook, and hopefully Instagram will get it in there. And and we will be posting links to things, but I just wanted to make sure that we made some time to come on and explain this and show everybody how to use it and how to find our information. And yeah, this thing is just going. This is a long ebook, but we're almost at Eid Mubarak in our ebook. It's going.
Keep on going.
Keep it going. At any rate, this is the ebook, the My Ramadan Ebook, available for you to download so that you can join us until Eid Mubarak time. And in the meantime, please keep my family in your prayers. Say a dua for all of us. We will do the same, and we will hopefully see you guys Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It's Monday. Monday is the day when we go up on the when we go up to sight the moon, we intend to go live. We got a little stabilizer now, so we're gonna go live, and hopefully when we see the moon, we'll be able to share it with everyone. So until Monday, like the page, follow it so that you can get all the updates, and we'll see you then.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.